Imagine stepping into the ring with the greatest heavyweight champion of all time,
Yeah.
right? But instead of throwing a punch, you just deliberately trip and drag him into the mud.
Yeah, just completely changing the rules of engagement right from the start.
Exactly. And on July 2nd, 2026, a 19-year-old chess prodigy did exactly that to Magnus Carlsen. Welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah.
We're looking at the first 3 Thursday event to figure out, exactly how GM Pranav V pulled off this stunning victory.
Well, the environment of this tournament is, it's absolutely critical to understanding the strategy here.
Because of the time control, right?
Right. They were playing with a strict 3+0 time control, so that means 3 minutes total for the entire game with 0 increment.
Wow, 0. So you get absolutely no seconds back for making a move.
None at all. It's this incredibly exhausting format where physical reflexes and, psychological resilience, they matter just as much as calculating variations.
Wait, I need to stop you there, though. Because Magnus Carlsen is arguably the greatest Sicilian defense player in history.
Oh, without a doubt.
Right. And Pranav opens with e4, c5, knight f3, e6, and then plays b3. The Western attack, deliberately playing a weird, suboptimal sideline against Magnus sounds like a total death wish.
It really does sound crazy on paper.
Like, why wouldn't Carlsen just instantly punish that? It's like challenging a master sommelier to a blind taste test of, cheap sodas,
That is a great analogy. But the thing is, the Westrian completely changes the geometry of the board.
How so?
By pushing that b-pawn early, to put the bishop on b2, Pranav intentionally bypasses all those heavily memorized, computer-approved main lines.
Oh, like the Najdorf and all that deep prep?
Exactly. That bishop targets central squares like d4 and e5 from a distance. Yeah. So Carlsen can't just blitz out 20 moves of deep engine prep. He's forced to pause, evaluate this totally strange setup, and play defensively to secure the center.
So it's like a street fighter dragging an Olympic fencer into a dark alley.
Yeah.
You take away the clean theoretical lines they've studied for decades and force them into this muddy brawl where only raw reflexes matter.
Yeah, and dragging him into that alley has an immediate, massive cost.
The clock.
Precisely. Because Carlsen is forced into a passive, unfamiliar structure on move 3, he has to start burning his most precious resource, his clock.
Right.
In a format with 0 increment, having to solve novel positional puzzles just drains your time rapidly.
Yeah, we definitely saw the cracks forming there. Carlsen started this tournament on an absolute tear, going 8-0.
He looked unstoppable at first.
He really did. But by this 11th round encounter, playing back-to-back matches against all these varying opponents, his stamina was visibly fading. He had actually just lost to the eventual tournament, Denis Lazovic, in round 9.
Yeah, the cognitive load of navigating that strange structure was simply too high. Pranav just ruthlessly managed his own clock, keeping the tactical pressure on.
Which eventually broke Carlsen down.
Exactly. Carlsen was already physically exhausted from the grueling 11-round format. When you combine that fatigue with a restrictive board position that demands constant problem-solving, it triggered a crucial mid-game blunder.
Right, the blunder.
Yeah, the time pressure just forced a decisive tactical collapse. Carlsen literally ran out of time to solve the puzzles Pranav was creating, which led to a devastating final winning sequence. Pranav just completely took over the board, and Carlsen had to resign.
So Pranav didn't just outplay him. He out-endured him by weaponizing the clock.
He really did.
But Pranav's success isn't just an isolated upset, is it? Because he was the 2025 World Junior Champion and the first Indian player to qualify for the 2027 Freestyle World Championship.
Right, and that freestyle background is the engine driving this whole upset.
Because in freestyle chess, or chess 960, the pieces on the back rank are randomized before the game even begins.
Exactly. You have to completely abandon memorized openings and just evaluate bizarre, unfamiliar positions on the fly.
Which is exactly the mental muscle Pranav used to navigate the Western attack better than Carlsen.
Precisely. The younger Indian vanguard is essentially throwing out the traditional textbooks. They are heavily utilizing what sources call anti-theoretical sidelines.
So instead of playing for draws against veterans in deep theoretical lines.
Yeah, they intentionally force chaotic, over-the-board creativity. They want to drag you out of your preparation and into a scramble where physical speed and tactical opportunism dictate the outcome.
And it paid off massively here. Pranav's victory secured him second place in the tournament, bumping Carlsen down to third.
It's a harsh reality check for the classical chess establishment. The gap is narrowing, and the weapons being used are completely shifting.
It really is.
Yeah.
Which leaves you with something to chew on. As young prodigies increasingly rely on these anti-theoretical sidelines, and as freestyle chess formats gain massive traction, are we witnessing the death of traditional chess opening theory in favor of raw, unscripted instinct? Next time you see a grandmaster willingly dive into the mud, pay attention. They might just be digging a grave for their opponent.